years and the most wins since the 2008-09 campaign. Now it's staying in the postseason conversation as Aston welcomes back a handful of starters. We welcome you back into the AAC Basketball Media Days with the Roadrunners. We welcome Coach Aston now. Coach, you said that the benchmark is to get to a 20-win season. How do you take this team to 20 wins?
I think you hit it on the head. I think we have to build on what we finished with. I think that we felt, you know, we had a disappointing loss in the tournament, no question about that. It was hard to kind of get them off the mat after that loss, but I thought regrouping, winning a game in the NIT, and really just understanding that there were some games that we very easily could have won and easily could have been at 20. So I think that type of mindset and having returners that understand the grind of everything is going to be very helpful.
Coach, looking at last season and how the American finished up, I mean, what a wild finish, right? You have 3 teams who share the regular season, another team who takes the championship, and now South Florida, a team that comes back with all their healthy pieces. When you look at the entire landscape, you know, rated among some of the big conferences, and you've been there before coaching those conferences, how does the American stack up this season?
Well, I think it stacks up very well, and I think that where we all understand this, like the big steps are having some non-conference wins that get people's attention. I think that if you don't do that, then you fly under the radar, and possibly you don't get the amount of bids that you deserve. I felt like we deserved 2 bids last year. I think we were all very disappointed. I thought Tulsa should have gotten in, and I think that, again, we all need to focus and try the best that we can to, you know, to get some quality wins in the non-con that get us some respect.
You've also got 2 really great players coming in via the portal. What can you tell us about those 2?
Yeah, I think Nina Delagrion she just brings in a wealth of experience. You know, she's a point guard, which has really helped our depth at that position. We lost Kira White, who wasn't necessarily a true point, but had the capabilities of sliding over to that if Sydney was out of the game. And it also just takes an enormous amount of pressure off of Sid. You know, she's been a starting point guard for me for 3 years or on her 3rd year. And, you know, I just think that she had a lot of pressure at times to not get in foul trouble, maybe not be as aggressive as she could be. And I think Nina takes a lot of responsibility leadership-wise. She gets it. Tremendous leadership skills. And then Nye Goni from Mississippi State gives us really a completely different dimension than we've ever had, from a sense of having a ton of length, but really being able to get up and down. She fits our style. And, you know, there's a learning curve for new guys, and there has been for them, but I think as we move along, we'll see them start to blend in.
Jordan, I see you nodding your head over there like you are so excited about the roster this year and your team. What is it that stands out that, you know, you want fans to know about the way you guys play?
Yeah, so we had a really good summer, and we've been like working on ourselves a lot. Like Coach said, we have some new people coming in who are going to be like playing really well with us. So I think it was just really important for us to like get our chemistry down and get all that going. But yeah, I'm really excited for Nye. Expand
a little bit more on that. Like, what does that look like to not only put in the work on the court and train, but get more confident, you know, get a larger voice in the summer? What is the process to coming back stronger in that area look like for you?
Yeah, well, personally, like coming off of injury last year, I had to like work on my game a lot, but also I feel like I had to work on being a leader this year and just being more vocal and trying to lead the team because, you know, we have a lot of new people, new freshmen, and we have a huge goal at the end of the year, so I need to step up and lead.
Coach, you said you're looking for players with a play-to-play mentality. How do you go about finding that, and how would you describe what that means?
Well, I think that we all, I mean, you know, I watch the WNBA just about every day. I'm watching a game in that, and I think you know, that game is just so fast, and I think that at the highest level in the collegiate ranks, the mentality of being able to go from play to play and not be so concerned about what just happened is the difference in not only just teams but individual players. I think individuals that play at the highest level and have aspirations of being, you know, a great college player and then maybe a professional have that gift. And in recruiting, it's really obvious when you see players that they just don't worry about what they did wrong. They don't worry about what happened in the past. And there's other things you can teach them if you don't have to work on that all the time. If you're not working on work ethic and you're not working on a motor and you're not working on a mentality, then you can work on basketball, which I think is the essential piece as we start to put a team together.
Sydney, how often are you hearing that from coach in practice, that play-to-play mentality, what she's looking from you all?
Really all the time, every day. I think that's kind of part of our mentality that we need to have in order to just improve as a whole. If we move play to play, we don't have to worry about anything in the past. We just focus on the goal, whether that's being a win or a bigger goal of getting a championship. It all just matters.
Have you set personal goals for yourselves this year, and what are they?
Well, really, one of my main goals is it's kind of a small goal. It's really just to stay positive at all times, because as point guard or just as a leader of the team, it affects everybody. So I just need to focus on being positive. That's a small goal. Focus on being positive and make that energy radiate throughout the team.
That's a big goal. That's a great goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Jordan?
I would have to agree with Sid. A little personal goal for me would probably be like not to foul out. I know.
That's a good goal for coach also.
That's a great goal.
You know, just trying to stay in the game as long as I can, and yeah, keep up with positivity for sure.
Coach, why do you react that way? How often are you getting on her about that?
Well, we talk about fouling in general. You know, it is a small thing. It's a small game within a game, but that was one of the areas that we lost last year. We lost the foul game. We lost the free throw game, and I think that there's small little games within the game, and you know, it sounds funny. You know, sometimes like don't foul out. Sometimes you just have to have the discipline to just stand your ground, and it's a huge factor, and it's a huge part of, I think, teams that are championship teams, they win the foul game.
I love that
you
you mentioned that, because you've been a part of championship teams. What could you say is the DNA that makes up a championship team? 2 or 3 key items.
It's funny because I think the play-to-play is one of those.
Yeah.
I think being able to stay in the moment and, you know, be able to play every single possession, because you know, championship level games, championship level teams play every possession. They don't take off plays. So I think that that's a big factor. And to be honest with you, especially in the climate that we live in, I think getting a team that really values sharing the ball and doesn't get too concerned about individual goals, because they all have them. Let's face it, every player has individual goals. You hope they do anyway. But being able to find a collective goal, and that being more important than, you know, what their individual goals are, is really, I think, the key to championship level teams. You know, you see it. I mean, we saw it with South Carolina. I mean, you know, last year, just for them being able to run the table like they did, it had everything to do with those individuals picking the team goal first. And I think it happens at every sport and every level. And I think for us individually, you know, we need to shoot the 3 better. There's just some stuff that I think our team has to do better. I think it's a huge part of the game now, and something we focused on. So, yeah, we'll take one day at a time, see if we can do those things.
One day at a time. High expectations for the UTSA women's basketball team. Thank you so much for being here, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next,